without notice. The Honorable Member for Lunte.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam, my urgent matter without notice is directed to the Honorable Minister of Education, who is among us today. Madam, we paid all students who went to welcome HH in Kitwe, says NOTEC principal. Madam Speaker, on the Copper Belt, there has been serious problems with alleged students burning T-shirts and causing confusion. And the claim has been these students were not paid as they were promised to go and welcome the president. However, according to the Diggers newspaper of today, the principal of NOTEC has confirmed that all the students who went to welcome the president were paid. Not sure if it's according to the promise. Madam Speaker, my question is, can the Honorable Minister of Education confirm the special allowance which now exists in the tertiary education for welcoming the president, so that our students everywhere across the country can be able to be sure that each time you are released to go and welcome the president, you'll be paid a specific allowance, as the case was at NOTEC, as confirmed by the principal. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lunte. The matter that you have raised does not qualify to be raised as an urgent matter without notice. The Honorable Minister of Education wants to say something, since there have been serious allegations.
Yes.
But there will be no questions after this.
Absolutely. I mean, if they want, they can still ask. Yes. If they still want, I know this is not their privilege. It's your privilege, Madam Speaker.
You may proceed, Honorable
Yes.
Minister, because we want to clear the air.
Yes.
People out there listening.
You got to clear the air. You are refusing to accept what you obtained on that side. You are refusing. I was with all these ministers around here. That's right. Honorable Mwet was there, this one was there. Everybody was there. There's nowhere where the president invited himself to go there. It's the students who invited him. And the overall boss who was there was Copperbelt Students Union. NOTEC was one of those. And they spoke at that stage. Please let us not use this as political capital, because you wanted, in fact, they believed that that was true. There was nothing like paying. No, listen. Just listen to me. You are not there. You're asking the Minister of Education, okay? Yes. I'm not responding to you. Okay? Sorry,
Oh,
let me
the
just tell you
honorable
that,
members.
first of all, how do you invite a head of state and think that you can be paid? We pay them anyway, every month, meal allowances. Okay? So, which they removed themselves. So, can we clear this? Please also listen to me. Nakonde, you are my brother.
Order, order.
Yes.
Order, Honorable Minister, let me just give guidance. Order, Honorable Members. Order, Honorable Members. Order, can we have some order? Honorable Members, you know, according to our standing orders, that the information that we give on the floor of the House should be factual and verifiable. This idea of relying on information on social media or in newspapers, let me finish, or in newspapers where you have no facts, you were not there, you don't know what the truth is, it amounts to speculation, is definitely out of order. So let the Honorable Minister, the Honorable Member for Lunte, you had raised a question. And out of that question, the Honorable Minister of Education, I use my discretion to allow him to clear the air from the allegations that you have made. So let's listen to the Honorable Minister respond to your questions. May the Honorable Minister continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, it was inadmissible. But I begged the Speaker in order to answer, because this is what they do. When you tell them that this is inadmissible, the word has already gone. And then we remain vulnerable ourselves not to respond to the allegations which are actually being made. The President was invited by a consortium of students. And I mean a consortium. And don't even say that. You cannot say that to me. So you are showing your phone. I also have your phone. Okay. So it is your word versus mine. I'm the means of education and I know where I'm coming from. Madam Speaker, for over 4 years, we've been feeding children in universities. Meal allowance which they cancelled, the President said retain it. Feeding more than 4 million children today. And then I can come and have somebody who question me, that you never paid their allowance. How much would it even cost anyway, if that's the case? And for 4 years, we spend billions and billions. They appropriate the money themselves for meal allowances. You do that. Don't even say a point of question. No. So, these people must be told in their faces. I think they are now in trouble because yesterday, as we were feeding 4 million children across the country, they were feeling the pinch. Because the day before yesterday, they were feeling the pinch because the students said they have endorsed the President. It is their right. If they think that they can easily do that. Okay? So this is why they are not happy and they want to bring it this way. In fact, Madam Speaker, I just came here, I was on my way to go and launch another issue of Mulungushi University for building the students' hostels. Okay? So we want me to be pointing you at...
Oh, the honorable members.
You are not in charge. Yes.
Order.
And I think that they really planned this. So you can make all your noise, I'm not deterred as a Minister of Education. That I can tell you. And you must be told in your ability if you're able to be thinking that way. Okay? You will never, and I'm saying you will never. Yes. You can understand.
Good evening, Zambia, and welcome to Spotlight tonight. My name is Said Nkonjara.
And my name is Alfred Chimba. Tonight we are not just talking about the 2026 elections. We are looking at the first of a potential political earthquake, Said.
3 days ago, the political landscape shifted. A document was unveiled, promises were codified, and a vision for a new Zambia was set in stone. The question on everyone's lips tonight isn't just about party lines. It's about whether an individual can truly move a nation.
Indeed, tonight we feature a female, all right, guest, and she's a woman who conquered Chiengi as an independent in a world of giants. She's a lawmaker, a mother of the nation, and now an aspirant for the highest office in the land. To her supporters, she is the hope they've been waiting for, and to her critics, she's a disruptor.
She is Honorable Given Katuta Mwelwa, who is Chiengi Member of Parliament, and she has launched a manifesto, and today or tonight she sits in the hot seat to defend it. She's also referred to as Mayo Mayo in the political landscape of Zambia.
On the Spotlight, we ask, why must Zambia choose you or choose her, and why take the lonely road of an independent? And we also want to find out, can mother's touch truly fix a fractured economy? Say it.
All right, Honorable, you're welcome to Spotlight. We are glad that you've joined us.
Thank you so much, and I must say I'm humbled. Yeah, I'm humbled by this invitation, and I want to say also thank you to the those who are following on your page and also, of course, on this channel. It's really quite humbling to see that you didn't hesitate after the launching of our manifesto for you to invite me to come. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. We played a video right at the start of this interview. I would love a comment from you, if you may, with regards the students from the Copper Belt who have been reported in the newspapers to have been paid for receiving the president by NOTEC.
Okay. Well, I saw something actually in the I think in the newspaper, where the school principal has confirmed that students were paid meal allowances, you know, and other allowances, something like that. And I took it that then the government must be responsible for that, because I don't think a school would have finances that would put on the side for such. Whenever there's the president has been invited by a union, and then the government, the school should pay. So I took it that that came from the government, because that school actually, when you look at the infrastructure, is dilapidated. It's just in a shape that you cannot even imagine to take your child there. So to see the students being paid the monies that the school principal has confirmed, yeah, I take it that the government is responsible, because the school itself has failed to maintain the infrastructure. It's in a state that you would not want even you yourself to go and maybe do your extension of education or to upgrade your education. Now, to see that students instead are being paid, I saw something like lunch allowance or meal allowance, and I don't know if it's distraction allowance, whatever they call it. I took it that this money came from the government.
The Minister of Education was asked before Parliament, and he said that the President was on the Copper Belt at the invitation of the Students' Union on the Copper Belt, which NOTEC is part of, and it's the Students' Union that paid the students.
Where on earth would the Student Union get the money from? Even their subscriptions to that student, I don't think it's it can make that much money to pay those students.
And printing the T-shirts and all.
And also printing the T-shirts, and to print those placards is quite costly. So to hear that the minister is saying the union paid, the question should be, where did the union get the money from? To buy those T-shirts, to print the T-shirts, and to print the placards, to hire buses, to and fro, and to pay the allowances, and whatever amounts which were, where did the union get the money from? Let the union produce to us its bank account, because every union in the university it has a bank account. Let them show us the withdrawals which were done. Let them show the nation the monies that have been going in, that have been paid by the students. Then we'll say, indeed, the students raised their monies. Or which other method did they use?
To pay.
To raise the monies that they use for the buses, transportation, food, and all that is quite expensive. And, I think the minister should not think he's talking to kids. The challenge we have is that when we're in Parliament, on the floor, our colleagues, they always forget that they are ministers, they're representing the executive. And when they respond, they're not responding to the opposition or other members of Parliament. They're responding to the nation. So their behavior and their attitude is just uncalled for. I can maybe misbehave because I'm just a backbencher. But for a minister to behave like that, I'm happy that they're only paving a way for us. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the reason for our conversation tonight. You are running as an independent presidential candidate. Now, in a constitutional democracy like ours, presidents depend on, a parliamentary majority to make their rule easier. Now, without a party, what are you promising the Zambian people from day one as, president of Zambia when elected? How are you going to govern without members of parliament? I think you, being a person who's holding this vision, is the best to answer that question.
I like what you're saying, that without a party. First, let's start with the Constitution. Our Constitution has a provision for an independent president, an independent MP, member of parliament, an independent councillor, an independent mayor or council chairperson. The crafters of that law knew that being in a democratic dispensation, we need to have total independence as well. So when you ask me the question, I'll answer you like this. Is it the party that delivers, or is a human being that delivers? And who elects? Is it the party that makes someone a president, or is the Zambians themselves? If it's not a political party, it's the Zambians themselves. It means we have also independent members of parliament. Since independence, we've seen an increase in independent members of parliament. Unfortunately, most of them were disgruntled. Okay, they were disgruntled independents, member of parliament. But this time around, we have a lot of Zambians who want to stand independent because they've seen that they are independents who are principled, like myself, who can do it without being manipulated by anyone. So most of people, most of Zambians have decided going independent is the only way that we can have our democracy survive. Why? We've seen that those who came from certain political parties, in the end, you see that they've gone back to the political party in some ways by agreeing with everything that the political party is doing in parliament, or those who are disgruntled by the opposition political party, they need sympathy, they need to belong, so they've gone to join the ruling party. On the paper, they're independent, but their actions, their spirits and everything, they belong to a political party.
Let's look at the logistics of power as well. I know for sure you wanted maybe to clarify more, but running a national campaign, Madam President, requires a massive machinery. And I believe the bigger question that many Zambians are having this evening is that who is funding you as Mayo Mayo, and what do they expect in return if you pull off this impossible win in August?
I'll say this, according to the Constitution, we are not obliged to disclose who's sponsoring you. There's no law to that. And the Zambians themselves, they've taken it upon themselves. It's not about the money. It's the people of Zambia who have decided this time around, let's have an independent president who will not control our parliament, who will not be controlling judiciary, who will not be controlling any government institution. They want to see the real independence of these government institutions. So when you ask me about who is funding me, the Zambians themselves will pave a way for me to make sure that they achieve what has never been achieved in this country. Moreover, they are saying that it's about time, after 62 years, we need to have a woman. Let's see what a woman can do. And apart from that, they have a proven record that have stood firm from 2016 to date without being on any major political party, but I still defeat major political parties without changing camps, without switching camps. So that also tells them that I can stand my ground. I'm not a person who can easily be compromised. When you talk of if I win the elections, listen, if since we're going to win elections, not if, since we're going to win elections, it's the Zambians who've decided enough is enough. Let's start fresh and new. When we talk about new, this is the real new we're talking about. So what people of Zambia should expect, we are going to build a strong institution because we are going to have more independent MPs than those who come from the ruling party. And when it's like that, it will be very difficult for the executive to manipulate bills or anything, or to force things that Zambians don't want. It means the institution, which is called Parliament, members of Parliament will be independent. They will not feel forced, or they will not act under duress so that they can appease their bosses. So most of the things that are happening on the floor of the House, it's not about the Zambians. Most of representatives of the people of Zambia, they've decided to represent their political party and their leaders.
The current, constitution as amended, this is inclusive of Article 13, which was recently amended. Now, you are going to have 277 members of parliament, 226 of which will be elected, 40 which will be via proportional representation, and 11 which the president is going to have the powers to, appoint or nominate. Now, if elected, how will you form cabinet? Will you be cherry picking from the very, opposition political parties that you're campaigning against? How is your cabinet going to be formed? Because this appears to be something very new to Zambia. But what is the plan? Those that are supporting you would want to know that there will not be a coalition crisis or coalition of chaos in this case, because you will have to pick from members of the opposition.
It won't be even a coalition. What is going to happen is that, according to the Constitution, the president is not under restriction from appointing any member of parliament to the executive positions. The president is supposed to choose any elected member of parliament to the executive. So when you talk about coalition, it's these political parties who have made Zambians to believe that only somebody from a very political party that is in the government is supposed to be also in the executive. And yet, after elections, the president has the right to appoint anyone, as long as that's an elected member of parliament, or nominate someone and appoint that person as the minister. Now, because of the kind of politics we have in Zambia, which are so toxic, and this thing of feeling superior, not understanding that being in politics is not about who is superior, but it's about delivery of service to the nation. Unfortunately, in Zambia, it is about a political party strength and power, not what they can give to the people, give them the mandate. Mind you, the reason why we have that National Assembly, we are coming from different background, different culture and everything. We have to bring that together so that we can build our nation. Unfortunately, political party system believes I have to go in there with my political ideologies and not what is about the Zambians, but what we feel should be done for the Zambians, not what Zambians feel should be done for them. So what I'm going to do, I'll pick ministers from parliament. There are those who accept because they will understand that it's about the nation, not a political party. So we'll form that cabinet and we're going to deliver to the people of Zambia.
All right. Madam President, tell us one specific policy in your manifesto that is radically different from that of the UPND or the previous regime, the PF, which they had offered. And what is the Mayo secret sauce?
The secret sauce is that we've come to understand that in our country, at the moment, we are totally divided as a nation. We are divided. There's so much of tribal remarks. I'll look at your face, oh, you are Tonga. I'll look at you, you are Bemba. And who has brought this? It's the political party. You come in my house, you marry my daughter, I'll not say you are Tonga. But I meet you on the street, I'll eat with you, there's no tribe there. But who is preaching tribal or tribalism? The political party leaders. So what we're going to do for us, to show the nation that we are here to bring unity, we are here to bring love, we are here to bring back our lost dignity. That's restoration of our dignity. We are so poor at the moment. And you asked me the question, we are so poor at the moment because we own nothing as Zambians. Even the young people whom we always go to give us the mandate, we've lied to them that we can create jobs for them. And yet for us, we are saying, no, Zambians should be self-reliant. They should be self-employed. You go to the universities to not to come out there to look for a job, but is to create millionaires. That's what we're focusing on, because we know that we have the resources. We have the natural resources which belong to us Zambians. So we are saying in everything, when we come into power, Zambians first. And it's not like we are talking, just talking. I've had this heartbeat that why are we so poor and yet we have all the water bodies, we have all the natural resources. The natural resources, you talk of the mukula trees and other things. You talk of the minerals. But do we own these things? The land itself, do we own these lands? Instead, we've enjoyed the kind of education where we just read and have a paper. But we are saying, if you are here as a journalist, I don't expect you to reach 40 years or 50 years still working here. You need to be empowered. So we are saying we are going to be working with the banks, where we're going to create a window in the banks where we are going to say those who are graduates should be consultants to those who are unable to have a specific skills. For example, if somebody says, I love sitting in front of cameras, but I'm not a journalist. We'll call, okay, Chimba, come, and you'll be, in other words, you'll be a consultant. When that person is trying to set up the studio like this one, we're going to say, you are the consultant until that the person is trained by you, of course. So when that person gets the loan from the bank, you'll be paid. In other words, as a consultant, you'll be having your own money. We are creating revenue for you. And this person who has borrowed also the money from the bank is also, starting to run a business. So we are saying this is the mandate or the job of the government to create opportunities, not just to leave it to the banks and the public working in the banks on their own, because most of the youths and just Zambians who are unemployed, they are unable to work in banks because they do not have collateral. So we are saying this is what we are going to do.
You've been critical of the current economic situation that Zambia, is experiencing. According to your manifesto and plan, what are you going to do differently that is going to, sort out the biggest issue to a common Zambian, the cost of milling?
It's not only the cost of milling. Let me tell you what we're looking at. When you read our manifesto in details, you see that when you talk about agriculture, I know the copy you have is not detailed. We had just to make something for the public. Sure. I'll leave you with a detailed one, and then maybe you can share with the others. But our fear is that some people can maybe make some alteration to what we're supposed to even to put it on our page. Listen, this country, we are so rich with land and water and the rains. So we are saying we want to encourage the young people like you, this so-called white-collar job. It's not taking this nation anywhere. We were saying we want to encourage the young people to be forming cooperatives, and us as the government, we are going to be borrowing on their behalf by facilitating the equipment. And like I've just mentioned, we get the consultants to help them establish commercial farms. And these commercial farms, we're saying in each province, in each district, there should be something that should be produced by the Zambians. And then we say for the milling mill, this is what we're going to do. We have to increase the land for ZNS. We have to increase the lands for the prisons. Why are we going to increase the land for the prisons? We want to say, instead of the so-called hard labor that I don't know the kind of hard labor they do, But we're saying we are going to have commercial farms which will be taken care of by the prisoners, ZNS, and of course we are going also to have to give land to the Zambia army. We want to start producing in excess. We can produce in excess, and by producing in excess, no one would say, no, I'll still be selling my maize at such a cheap price. Look, as we're speaking, ZNS doesn't have the maize grains, and it's not producing the mealie meal anymore. So we're saying if each province is able to produce maize, which we've seen that nearly every province in this country is able to produce maize, we'll have excess, and the excess will be sent out, will be exported out. And then what we have here, it means each province should be able to produce its own mealie meal. How is it going to be expensive?
That's the solution to mealie meal. There's so many, aspects of this, and Alfred will agree with me that the Honorable has been quite a critic of a number of issues, including debt. Indeed, when we talk of Zambia's debt, you've been very critical, as Said has mentioned. But let's get it from you. And on this note, you've been also critical on the UPND's government's borrowing habits. Yet the government claims their debt restructuring deal is the only reason this country hasn't totally collapsed. What is your take on this?
I think that's a joke of the day. When the UPND was in opposition, I used to sit with the members of Parliament aside, the left-hand side, and I would even cheer them whenever they were offering solutions to PF. And I thought these guys really have a solution to our debt in our country. Listen, how do you go and ask for debt restructuring when you have the resources at your fingertips, where you can get the money in less than 10 months you pay off the debt? We have the gold, which I've been talking about, that this was the biggest opportunity that UPN was going to use. Get all these young people or the unemployed, facilitate for them artisanal licenses. Not only 1,000 of them, that place is vast, and it's not only Mfumbwe which has gold. We have gold almost even here. As we go to Chongwe here, there's gold. You're sitting on gold throughout the country. Why do we not say each province, if there's a geological report about gold, we're going to have this province, you have to produce, because there's a report of what is there. You're going to be producing so much. You give them, the Zambians, instead of the briefcase buyers to come and buy, the government should be buying from them. Like that, you're creating also revenue, or you're creating wealth for your own people. Then the government should get that gold, refine it, or add value to it, then sell. I can assure you, within a period of maybe 12 months, we'll be able to clear off our debts. We have Mukula. Some people talk about that you cannot talk about Mukula. No, we have Mukula as a government, together with the help of course, the army, the ZNS. We say this Mukula, we are going to get this Mukula and sell it. You have one area where you're going to cut certain quantity of Mukula. You sell it, not politicians. They should be the ones only to be involved in that. If you sell that to Mukula, you mean you cannot get that money? You'll be able to pay your debts. But why would you be borrowing when you have everything at your fingertips? We have copper. Let's ask the current government, because before they came to power, they had promised us that they would do things differently from PF. On top of that, they said they will never borrow. They will never borrow. How do you borrow, and how do you go to do debt restructuring when you have everything at your fingertips? What are we doing with our mines? What are we scared of bringing those mining companies sit here? This is the route we're going to take. This copper can only leave our country when it has been refined And you have to come and set up refinery plants here in the country. And even those who want to buy the copper, they should come and buy copper from here, not taking it out. This is our money, it's our mineral. And when you do that, it means there will be money that will be left in our country, and part of it then you can live. Then we'll be talking about having something that we can even use to pay and do other things, or to pay off our debts.
If you became president today, would you have walked away, from the IMF deal? And if so, how would you have convinced the creditors, including China and the Paris Club, to give Zambia a better deal without an international mediator? And I know you've talked about how we could have produced enough, minerals to do away with the debt. But you understand that this democratic governance system that the country has, things don't move at a speed that you would want.
I'll tell you something.
And production also takes quite some time before you can even start selling.
No. Recently, the president was in Cape Town boasting of the tons, metric tons, million metric tons that we're producing as a nation. It means we're doing well. We are the second largest producer of copper, the entire world, and not Africa. Don't forget. So where is this copper? Who is buying copper? And can this, in 2022, we got $7.4 billion worth of copper going out of the country. And Zambia was only given $1.4 billion US, 2022. What do you call that? What's the difference there? Almost 6 million, if I'm not mistaken. 6 billion, I mean, $6 billion US. You call that a fair trade? It's not a fair trade. The problem we have is that we believe that we can only borrow for us to survive. And this mentality has to change. You cannot live a life of to borrow to survive. To borrow, even CDF, you have to borrow. Health, medicines, you have to borrow. Even paying maybe civil servants, you have to borrow. How do you live like that when you have the mineral? What I'm going to do is to call these entities. Let's sit down and talk.
Would you accept an IMF package?
No. And in fact, the first thing that we're going to do, we are going to liberalize the mining and the selling of gold, like the way I've said it. Zambians will do it and will get that copper, gold, will sell it. The only thing that we're going to do is to say we don't need this IMF. If Namibia has been able to pay debts within this short period of time, what about us who have everything? It takes leadership. And also the negotiating team that you go with to IMF also, Eva. The challenge that we have, what I've noticed with the current government, they have that faith in IMF or the foreign investment. They do not have faith in themselves that they can do it as a nation. The president is the chief marketer. He was in Cape Town marketing our country. Well done. But when you listen to that, you can hear even the gold, which belongs to us, which is supposed to be done by Zambians. You don't need heavy equipment to do that. You don't need that. All you need is to teach your people safe rules for them to mine gold or these other minerals which are being discovered in our country. Anything like that is meant for us Zambians, not for any so-called investor. I will not allow that.
If dealing with the economy is as simple as you are making it appear, why did Zambia become a laughingstock under the Patriotic Front when we defaulted on debt? And why has the UPND administration through President Hakainde Hichilema gotten to a conclusion that we cannot pay this debt when it is mature, but what we can do is agree to pay it at a later stage.
To defer it.
To defer it.
Which you and your brother here, you're going to pay through your nose, because us will not be there at the time you'll be paying. And it's going to be hell. And we're trying to prevent that not to happen. Because I'm worried about you, I'm worried about him, and my grandchildren.
But the
because anything that you've deferred is accruing interest. What are you going to? How are you going to pay?
Now, are we not
Listen,
servicing the debt?
The challenge which was there, the UPND government didn't do its calculations very well. And I want to say this: there are cartels out there. Okay. When you he asked the question, who is sponsoring you, who is funding you?
Yes.
Political parties, when they're being funded, they're not funded for mahala. Okay. When they go there, they promise, this is what we're going to do. Okay. So if there were no such conditions, I believe maybe UPND was just going to come and call those giant mining companies and look, we need to pay off this mess which was left by PF government. And the only way, guys, we're going to do this, we have to take drastic measures and action. This is what we're going to do. It calls for putting your stake in the ground.
Okay.
The Minister of Finance has, updated the nation.
That the debt is so high.
That Zambia now's credit rating is B+. And it was so bad before. We are now B+, which means that we have been servicing, the debt. You cannot be rated B+ if you have not been servicing.
Can you be boss of even a debt that now I can even borrow more? Because they are saying that and they're busy borrowing. They're saying that and they're increasing the dates. It was just last week where he said we're now sitting on 28.9 billion debt as a nation. And you're even boasting that now we are here. In other words, they've been borrowing and borrowing. Let me say this, and I'll look straight in the camera. Even CDF, they've been borrowing. And that CDF money that they boast of, they don't even give us the full amount. And now people think, these MPs are not working, they cannot deliver. They don't give us the full amount. They will say 40 million. Next time I hear the president is going to increase it, even to what, if he's going to come back in August. He's saying he's going to increase it. But do you pay the councils the full amount of money? Many projects have stalled. Unfortunately, UPND has Vuvuzela MPs who have crossed over, those who want to appease the president. The truth of the matter, we don't get the full amount.
How much CDF have you gotten, over the 4 years?
I cannot put together the amount, but from the time Honorable Mundwe asked the questions that you are boasting, and yet it's only, was that 3%, if not 15%, that has been displayed since the time we started the CDF thing. And now they want to be clever to say, no, if you don't use the money, we take it. They don't give us the money. If they were giving us the full amount, most of projects would have been concluded by now.
Let's look at the invisible borrowing and avoiding it. You, as an independent president, how would you fund your manifesto without seeking new loans? And are you proposing a tax-heavy Zambia to avoid borrowing? Or do you have a secret revenue stream that the current administration is missing as well?
Well, you are asking how we're going to come out of this mess, in other words?
Yes.
Bear with me, maybe the word mess is not a proper word to use. I've just told you that on this part of how we are working, how we're going to deal with the national debt, that's for international dates and local dates. It's something that we've discussed, and that's why I said, if you look at my manifesto, the one that I gave to the media house is not detailed, but this one in particular is detailed. We've deliberately kept it to ourselves, so that others don't borrow our ideas and start to run with it. And to look like, I heard today when on Saturday I responded that to reduce maternal death, this is what we're going to do. And today I heard it when I spoke about the minerals belong to Zambians. Zambians should be mining these minerals. I heard the president talking about it in his speech. So there's some things that I've started noticing. We've decided rather, because we have a team, we are not going to disclose.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
sure. We have, we've sat with our team and we've decided this is the route that we're going to take.
And also
so
sure
that we get back our dignity. Do you know that we've lost dignity as Zambians? And he said it, that we're a laughing stock the time of PF because of the dates that we had. And we also, we're still a laughing stock, a huge laughing stock. I saw a video which I put on my page where they're saying the president of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, was posting in Cape Town. And the reporter is, I think, from East Africa. But they showed now the poverty in our country. And now you look at that poverty and the millions and the investment of 22 billion investment is it 22 billion, 12 billion. 12 billion investment by investors in the mining sector, what and what. It's not correlating with the the way people are living in our country. We're still in poverty, and we're still talking about the high cost of a mealie meal.
Madam President, you talk of Zambia's prioritizing the natural resources and making it look like Zambia should really be the first people to enjoy the natural resources. And of course, this has been used as a campaign too for quite some time, and I believe Zambians are awoke at this point. But why should Zambians believe you or trust you that when you're given the mandate, you come and deliver according to your promises?
Thank you so much. One, my track record is very clean. You search about me, you never find any corruption or lies. And you search about me, you see that I've never been involved in any deal, despite being in on the political stage for 10 years. When you search about me, you find that I'm not a person who believes in appeasing the ears of anyone. They've used it as a two campaign, and as for us, we've picked that, and we want to run with that like the late His Excellency Dr. Kenneth Kaunda with his team. We've had credible leadership before in this country, the leadership of Kenneth Kaunda. That team, it was all about Zambians. Even the time they were told that they could not send their copper overseas when they had some sanctions, they convened a meeting in a second and came up with a solution for the sake of the nation. Not where we know that people are dying, somebody goes on a holiday. When there's a crisis, somebody is not paying attention. And this is the kind of leadership I've observed over a period of, I'll say, close to 31 years in our country. But I want the Zambians to know that I'm not here to entertain anything. I must be sincere and open to say some of the things we are doing, we are following also our founding fathers' vision they had for Zambia. They had a good vision for Zambia. Unfortunately, this thing of when you take over the government, you want to erase everything that you find there. As for us, we're saying we're not going to erase anything, but we've borrowed the idea of Zambians should gain, and it's about the Zambians. We'll be the first leadership. And I want to say this, we'll be the first leadership that will walk out after 5 years or 10 years without somebody to say, how did you build this? How did you do this? We want to imitate our founding fathers. Show me somebody from UNIP who was a thief like what you are seeing today in our country. Since 1991 to date, all the leadership, they have something that they've done wrong, stealing from our money. But as we are saying, we are not going to entertain that. It's a reason, if you look at even our structures, we've brought back Youth Wing, we brought back Women's League. Why? We don't want the kind of leadership where somebody will say, because I am the president, no one should say anything to me. We're giving power back to the people, and the Youth Wing and the Women's League and others should be able to say, can you move out?
You've talked about CDF, and I'll ask this as a combined question owing to time, the UPND administration boasts of having increased CDF from 1.6 million, which we were getting in 2016, to now the newly announced amount will be 40 million. There is free education that they've posted of as well, from primary school to secondary education, and they're planning to increase it to tertiary level as well. But there's also the school feeding program. The president just yesterday was at Kablonga Secondary School implementing the school feeding program. Are you going to scrap these, or are you going to maintain them? And if you're going to maintain them, the 40 million CDF, it's free education, the feeding program, where are you going to get the money?
Thank you so much. You know why I laughed? That's what I was saying. Somebody must have gotten our paper, because I've been talking even on the floor of the House, and it's in this document, that the free education should not be for those who go only to government schools. All the Zambians, as long as you're a Zambian, you deserve to have free education. So in order for us not to make our private schools to go bankrupt, we are saying we are going to subsidize so that we maintain the numbers of those who are in private schools. Those in private schools are Zambians. And we have a plan of how we are going to distinguish or to make a segment, say, okay, in this area, you cannot give a free education to somebody coming from what do you call this, Chamba Valley, and a child in Kanyama. No, we are saying a child from Kanyama or child from Lubuto and Indola is entitled to free education. But if you're from Kansenshi, we want you to be paying something. Just the same as with electricity. We have a plan of how we are going to do it.
How are you going to do electricity?
Let me
and also these things, how are you going to
I want
fund
to answer.
them?
I want to answer you. So the free education that the government of today has introduced is a good thing. Okay? Because I had my free education. And with us, we are saying free education should be from early child, what we call the creche, to the tertiary. And we're saying all those young people who are in the private schools should also be entitled to free education. As we speak now at Yunza, it's not everyone who gets the bursary, the government bursary. As we speak today, it's not every student at University of Zambia gets a meal allowance. It's a lie. I'm telling you. It's just few, maybe about 10,000, if not, I just forgot to collect my details. So let them not use that to bluff the Zambians, to say...
So you're going to maintain this?
Wait, I'm saying free education is a good thing.
Make it better.
That's where I'm heading to. For us, I'm saying whatever we'll find there is to work on it. We've already have put in place what we're going to do. We're saying that free education, we're going with it, but this is how we're going to do it, so that we can give quality education. The CDF, we have the skills component, which we send our children to go and have the skills. When they come back, they start looking for jobs. But as we're saying, from the CDF, they come back, we empower them, whether with machinery or whatever. It will be our responsibility.
Will you maintaining that 40 million, or are you going to take it back to 1.6 million, or are you going to...
No, I mean, we are not talking about retrogression. I'm saying we're going to maintain and work on it. Most of the governments, they make a mistake. When they come into power, they want to scrap off. No, any government program should be continued. So as we're talking about continuity, but in an improved manner.
All right. I know for sure people want to engage with you, Madam President, but time's all with us. We'll try as much as to pick about 3 calls, and we allow you also to respond. The number is on your screen. Call us and let's engage. We do have Madam President here just to get your thoughts on what she has already elaborated, and if you have a question or contribution, let's find out this hour. Good evening. We are through to Spotlight.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, thank you. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Finney calling you from Nova.
The name again?
Finney.
Sydney.
Finney, F-I-N-N-Y.
Finney, please go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask Our Excellency, the President. She's mentioned of that when she's elected the President of the Republic of Zambia, she's going to make education be accessible to all schools, that it being a public school and private school. But then how does she intend to do it in private schools? Because private schools, they need money for them to be funded, I mean, to be doing whatever they are doing to their schools and all the programs that they are doing. So then how does she intend, how will our government intend to sponsor these private schools for them to run as they are running, because their students are paying for the some fees? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Alfred.
Good evening. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Senior citizen, Kitwe.
Senior citizen, yes, your quick take on what we're looking at this evening.
Yes, I just want to find out if she was in the TF.
Okay.
Was in the UPF or was in the TF?
All right.
Has she ever been a TF member?
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Okay.
All right, that line dropped. Please do try to call back. Hello, good evening.
Hello, how are you?
Very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right, what is your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Leisho Moja calling from Sasheke.
From where?
This is Leisho Moja calling from Sasheke.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mosha from Sesheke. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to ask the Madam President this question. How is she going to introduce free education in private schools? Because the same money that the parents pay in private schools, that's the same money that the teachers are being paid. So how is the private school going to be paying their teachers? That's my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. We'll try to see if we can pick one more call and then read some messages so that we can also accommodate those views that were coming to us via text. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Evening, how are you?
Very fine, thank you. How are you? Kindly tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Please turn down the volume from your TV.
Okay.
All right. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right, what is your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Mr. Harwa,
Mr. Halwa, where are you calling from?
Lusaka.
Please go ahead.
I just wanted to confirm from the Madam President, how is she going to finish the balances? Because the government, it has its own balances to some other countries where we borrow money.
All right.
As soon as she becomes our president here, she'll have to start covering those balances before she comes up with her own ideas.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, she will inherit all those.
All right.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Halwa, for that. Mr. Halwa is asking how you are going to pay the existing debt, because there's debt that you're going to find when you get elected as president. Let's have a look at some messages and see how many questions our guest can answer to.
All right, so this one says, ask her what will happen if MPs refuse to accept her appointments as ministers to form cabinet, in Lusaka. All right, let's see more text on the screen. This one says, evening, my incoming president, I have been following the discussion and you are saying good things. Hope you will not turn the other way around once selected. May the Almighty God continue giving you guidance and protection. Who is going to be your running mate? Stay blessed, ma'am. All right. Okay. This one says, here in Milenge Luapula province, we want change for the better Zambia by choosing a woman to be in that higher office. Mayo Mayo You are most welcome here by well-meaning Zambian citizen by J. Luzon. Okay, thank you so much, Jay, for that text. We do appreciate. All right, so these and more messages are what we have received this evening, and we take note and we appreciate that you are to participate. But let's just find out or maybe get response from our guests this evening. Madam President.
Thank you so much. You need to help me with the questions.
The first one, if MPs refuse your appointment, what's going to happen?
My prayer is that we have about, at the moment, I think we have about 56 who've indicated to work with us, who have been working towards standing as independent MPs. So,
are these already existing MPs?
No.
All right.
If you look at the composition or even of our members, we decided to do away with the people who've been part and parcel of the problems we have in the country. When you talk about new, we are the ones who are carrying that, the new indeed.
All right.
Yes. So I believe out of that number, and those who maybe will be, I'll use the word disgruntled, or those who belong to political parties who would want to save the nation. Because what is important is that the MPs have to understand that they're not elected for a political party, but they're elected for the nation.
Right.
So I don't believe there will be anyone who will turn down that. And among those 56 who are going to stand independent, I think we can make a good team.
Our time has run out, but allow you to respond to this question that was on everyone's, a number of
private
callers.
Schools.
Private schools. How are you going to finance?
Yeah, in fact, I like that question. If you've noticed, I mean, if you heard me, I said that we want to create millionaires. That's one of our focus. We want to have Zambians, indigenous Zambians who are millionaires. So we've seen that schools, as it now, private schools are closing down in the townships. Those are schools which used to be helping us not to have the government schools like over-enrolled. So what we're going to do is that we'll choose the schools that we are going to be helping. For example, if you talk about Simba, you know, is for the elite. So there's no way we can go in and give a subsidy to that school. But if we talk of schools, for example, Chalo Trust, I live there. Most of children have left the school, and the owner here wants even to sell it because now he cannot afford to pay. We are not looking at closing down private schools because of free education. We want to balance. So what we're going to do, those who are in private schools, to maintain the numbers so that they don't cross to free education, we are going to say you have to pay 50% and the government will be paying the 50. Yes.
All right. The
running mates.
Yes, the running mates. The running mates. What we've decided to do is to keep the running mate a secret. The reason is politics, of course. And you know, when you choose a running mate, you cannot choose somebody who's so ambitious also to be a president. You might find yourself in problems. We have a running mate, and we believe it will work out very well.
If by December, if by August rather, you are not elected as president, what is the one thing that the country is going to be missing out on?
The country will not really miss out because this is democracy. Right. If we don't make it in August, we'll go back to the drawing table until we get it right, because we've got so much to contribute and to bring a change in our country, to bring everything new, but with the existing system, but to show people that you can do renovations, which can look like it's a new thing. And this is what we're looking at. The Zambians will miss an opportunity of Zambians being united finally and getting back our lost dignity as Zambians. We've lost a dignity as a Christian nation. We don't love each other anymore. So they'll be losing on that, and they will lose, of course, on motherly love. Zambians should always remember that there are countries where women have done it. Liberia is the best example. It was a war-torn country. A woman came in, things changed, and today they're enjoying peace. And this is what we're looking at. We want a mother to embrace anyone, not to look at the tribes.
Are you saying the men have failed? Anyway,
They failed.
Time
They
is
failed.
up.
Madam President, thank you very
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
having honored this invitation and joined us in studio. So whether you believe in the power of the independent voice or the strength of the traditional party, one thing is certain: the 2026 general election has just gotten more interesting.
Indeed, Honorable Given Katuta Mwelwa, thank you so much for joining us on Spotlight, and we look forward to further discussions soon enough.
Thank you